What happens if you never have nocturnal emissions? Many men are worried about having nocturnal emissions, but almost no one asks this question. What if they never happen at all? Is that a sign of strength or is it a hidden problem? A healthy male body follows a natural rhythm. Nocturnal emissions may occur once a week, once every 2 weeks, or even once a month. And this variation is completely normal. What matters is not the exact timing, but whether your body is in balance or not. Let's look at all the possibilities one by one. What happens when nocturnal emissions become too frequent? Now let's look at the first extreme. If nocturnal emissions start happening every night, every second or third night, or even multiple times in one night, this is not normal. It's a clear signal that the system has lost its natural stability. A healthy body doesn't release semen again and again like this, but it holds, regulates, and releases semen only when necessary. But when this frequency increases, it shows that the internal control is weakening. Inside the body, several changes begin to happen. The semen starts becoming thin and watery. Its quality and density begin to decline. The semen holding capacity of the system becomes weaker, and the body starts releasing semen with very little resistance. Instead of controlled release of semen, it becomes automatic and excessive. Over time, this creates a cycle. Weakness increases, stability decreases, frequency becomes even higher, and your system keeps losing balance further. This is not strength. This is your body telling you that something inside is no longer stable. And if ignored, this imbalance only grows deeper over time. What happens when nocturnal emissions stop completely? Now let's look at the opposite extreme. If nocturnal emissions never happen at all, this is also not normal, because the body naturally follows a cycle. It produces semen, it stores semen, and when needed, it releases semen. This is part of a healthy functioning system. But when there is no semen release at all over a long period, it may indicate that semen production system is no longer working actively. Inside the body, this may reflect low semen production, reduced internal activity, a gradual decline in natural function, a system that has become dull or inactive, or semen mixing with urine or leaking without control, indicating semen has become too thin and watery, a sign of an advanced stage of spermatoria where natural control is lost. In all above cases, there is no enough semen production or storage to have natural occasional nocturnal emissions. Instead of balance, this is suppression, inactivity, or overactivity. This is where many people misunderstand. They assume nothing is happening, so everything must be fine. But in reality, sometimes nothing is happening because system itself has slowed down or weakened. A healthy system has movement, rhythm, and response. An inactive system loses that natural rhythm. Over time, this can lead to reduced vitality, lower internal strength, and lack of natural responsiveness. No semen release doesn't always mean control. Sometimes it means your body is no longer responding the way it should. And that is also a form of imbalance. The law of balance in the sexual system. Now, if you step back and look at the full picture, you will clearly see two extremes: too frequent nocturnal emissions or semen release, no nocturnal emissions at all. And then there is the third state, occasional nocturnal emissions. This is the state of a naturally balanced and healthy system, because the body is designed with a very precise rhythm. It doesn't function randomly. It follows a structured internal cycle. It builds gradually, it maintains stability, and it releases semen only when necessary. Not too early, not too late. Only when the system requires it. When this balance is present, semen production remains steady, semen quality remains stable, control remains strong, and semen release happens naturally without excess or suppression. This is no force, no struggle, just a smooth internal rhythm. But when this balance is disturbed, the system moves toward extremes. Either it becomes overactive and releases semen too frequently, or it becomes underactive and stops responding completely. Both situations reflect the same root issue: loss of natural balance inside the system. Your body is not designed for extremes, it's designed to function with balance, rhythm, and control. And once that balance becomes disturbed, everything else starts moving out of place. The root cause behind excessive nocturnal emissions. Now let's come to the most important point. Because if you don't understand this, you will keep focusing on symptoms instead of real issue. The real issue is not the nocturnal emissions themselves. They are only signals. The real issue is disturbance in the natural balance of the sexual system. In a healthy state, the system works in harmony. Semen production is balanced, semen storage is stable, semen release is controlled and occasional. Everything moves in a natural rhythm. But when this internal balance is disturbed, the system loses its ability to regulate itself. And then two things start happening. Either the body begins to release semen too frequently without proper control, or it becomes inactive and stops releasing completely. At first glance, these two situations look very different. But in reality, both are outcomes of the same root problem: a system that cannot maintain its natural balance. Because when balance is lost, regulation weakens, stability breaks down, and the body starts behaving in extremes. Instead of controlled function, it shifts into imbalance patterns. And this is where most people go wrong. They try to stop the emissions or force the system to behave differently, but they ignore the actual cause, the internal imbalance that's driving everything. So, nocturnal emissions themselves are not the problem. They are your body's way of showing you that something inside is not in its natural state. Fix the balance so the system begins to regulate itself again. So, remember this clearly: frequent nocturnal emissions is sexual imbalance. No nocturnal emissions at all is also sexual imbalance. But occasional nocturnal emissions is natural sexual balance. So, health is not about extremes, it's about maintaining the right rhythm inside the body. To help you apply everything practically, I have prepared a nocturnal emissions free PDF guide summarizing the full system. The download link is available in the description below.